All right, y'all, here is a factoring flow chart that kind of goes through what you can. I'm going to add on to it a little bit, and I'm also going to rewrite my plus or minus thing in the middle term for 3 terms below it so you can see that. It's kind of a flow chart that can help you out how to factor and which method to use. So we start at the top, our factoring flow chart. We always look for a GCF before we proceed. If you can take out the GCF first, it's only going to make it easier for you. If you don't take it out, it's going to be really hard, and you're going to have to take it out at the end anyway, and you can get confused. So first of all, take out the GCF. Then look, if we have 2 terms left, is it a difference of squares? So is it a squared minus b squared? If yes, then factor it. If no, then it's a prime. I'm also going to add in the sum of squares. I'll do it in blue. Blue seems good. So the sum of 2 squares, a squared plus b squared equals a plus bi, and then a minus bi. If it's neither one of those, there's no GCF, then it is technically prime. But now that you know the sum of squares, you can have that as an option as well. All right, now let's go up to 3 terms. So first of all, if it's 3 terms, you already took the GCF out. Is the leading coefficient 1? If yes, then you can go straight to your X or your chart. What factors multiply together to give you the last number in the trinomial? And then what factors of those add to give you the middle trinomial? So if you want the X factor or the chart, your A is 1, so it's not hard. If no, then let's skip to the next box. Is it a perfect square trinomial? So remember to check the middle pattern. Does the first square equal first square plus the last square equal the middle, or minus? Same concept. If no, we go down to the X method, and this is your bottoms up. So you got multiply to get the first, and then the middle, and then your other factors. So same kind of concept. You can follow that along. Or down here, I'm going to redo my chart for you. So remember, you're going to do A times C and B. So remember, we got 2 options. If it's a plus in the back, you're going to do 2 things. First of all, you're going to add in the chart. And then your signs are going to be the same. So same signs. And they're going to always be the first operation. So if the first symbol is a plus, it's going to be, they're both going to be plus. If the second one's a minus, first one's a minus, they're both going to be minus. If it's a minus in the back, you can do the opposite. You're going to subtract in the chart. You're also going to have opposite signs. So one is going to be positive, one's going to be negative, and you got to remember larger factor gets the first operation or the first sign. And that'll help you, and then you go straight from that into bottoms up. So once again, that's how I do my chart, kind of help you out. We have that as an option. And then the last term, if you have 4 terms, we're going to factor by grouping. So here's your grouping steps. I know we didn't talk about this much at all. So a polynomial must have have 4 terms to factor by grouping. So we got that example. So first you're going to separate the first 2 and the last 2. It's already in order. Take out the GCF of the first one, GCF of the second one. If it is a good factorable polynomial by grouping, these will always be the same. So we're going to take that out. That's going to be your first term, and then whatever's left, if you cover those up, you got an x squared plus 2. That's always going to be your second set of parentheses. So this is just a nice, easy flow chart to use. You got that addition down at the bottom. You also have the addition of sum of 2 squares. But that is something else that can help you when you are learning how to factor. So you're going piece by piece, following the flow chart, and eventually getting your solutions. Now remember, if we are solving and not just factoring, once we factor each term, you got your parentheses, you set each parentheses equal to 0, and then solve for your variable. Hope this helps. If you got questions, never hesitate to ask, please. Hope you have a wonderful day, and best of luck on your quiz coming up.